Hi, everybody. This is my favorite section of IXL graphing because for linear graphs, S.22, which is graphing using the point slope, the point slope form, has the most to do with advanced graphing. And we're going to look at some graphing theory, and it's a really, really important section. The nice part is that it's really easy to read your solution from the equation. So let's get started, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's see what we've got. Okay, what we're going to do is what I call rezeroing. Now, there's a lot of ways of thinking about it, but I think the best way to think of it is that I am going to locate a point by zeroing out the values. So here's what I'm going to do. What I want to do is I want to find a solution that will make this equation true. Now, what most people are going to do is they're automatically going to distribute that 2, they're going to add the 5 to both sides, and they're going to get this in slope-intercept form. And that's an okay way to do this. But this equation is already written in a beautiful format that has to do with graphing theory of transforming graphs. We usually use the point HK to describe where this graph goes. But here it is. I've got y minus 5 is equal to 2 times x plus 5. Rather than get into the specifics, I'm just going to show you how to do it. What I want to do is I want to find a solution that's really easy. And we know that putting 0 in for x is usually the easy way to go. But what I want to suggest is that a nice, easy answer for x is -5. Because what'll happen is it'll zero out this right side of this equation. It'll make the right side equal to 0. Well, what value of y will make the left side equal to 0? Well, clearly, that's going to be 5, because 5 minus 5 is 0, and -5 plus 5 is 0. So what I've done is I have chosen an x value, this is the x value, and a y value that will make this equation true. It will make this side 0, and it will make this side 0, and 0 is equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph the point -5, 5, which is located right there. That is absolutely one of the points on my graph. Now, if you know a point on your graph, you can always find another one by counting the slope from the point that you know. So I'm going to go from this point and I'm going to count the slope, which is right there. It's 2 over 1. So I go up 2 and over 1 and I'm done. That's it. You zero out the point and then you count the slope. Now that's just how to do it. What we're going to do next is we're going to look at how it works and how it's connected to what you're going to do later. Now in this particular one, y plus 7 is equal to 3, there really is an x plus 0 in there, isn't there? So you don't have to think of it like that. You just think of what value of x will make that part 0. And of course, we're talking about 0 there. And on this side, we're talking about -7. Well, this one was pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously, if I subtract 7 from both sides, I have it in slope-intercept form. But I want to use the point slope form. 0, -7 was my point, which is not quite visible here. Let's move it down a little bit. 0, -7 is located right there. And I want to count my slope, which is up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So you can see how this one was connected. If I just subtract 7 from both sides, I get y equals 3x minus 7, which is graphed right there. Now this one I really like. Let's rewrite it real quick. Y plus 4 is equal to 1/4 times x plus 1. Now a lot of people are just going to want to do it. So let's just do it. We want to make this 0. So what value of x makes this 0? We need a -1. That's going to make this whole right side equal to 0. What value of y makes it 0? -4, because -4 plus 4 is 0. So now be careful. A really common mistake is to put this in the wrong order. Remember, it's always x and then the y. So the x value is -1 and the y value is -4. So I'm going to go to the point -1, -4, because that's a solution to this equation. -1, -4 is right there. It's a little hard to find it. And now I'm going to count my slope, which is go up 1 over 4. A very common mistake is to always count the slope from the origin. You never, well, rarely count the slope from the origin. The only time that you will ever do that is if the origin is one of the points. I'm going to go up 1 and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we are. That's up 1 over 4. And that's my slope. So that's why this is called point slope form. Let's do another one. Do a few more, and then I'm going to show you a connection. So what value of x makes that 0? Well, hopefully you can see that a 6 will make this 0. And if the right side is 0, then the left side must also be 0. We call this point an x-intercept, and it's really common to get this on the wrong axis. And the way you can tell, you see that x value? An x value is on the x-axis, and it is an x-intercept. And notice that y is equal to 0 on the x-axis. 2, 0, 4, 0, and there's my 6, 0. Now I just have to graph the point, which is, the slope, which is -1 over 4. Notice that they stick the negative right in the middle. That's probably not the place you want it to be. You can count the slope either direction. You can count it like 1 over -4, or you can count it -1 over 4. But one or the other, not both. So I can go down 1 and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll be right there. If I had counted up 1 and back 4, I would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I would be here. So it's either way works, okay? Now we want to find a point that makes this side 0, which is going to be 6 for x, and I need to make this side 0, so I need a -6 for y. So 6, -6, which isn't showing on my graph. Let me just move this up a little bit. 6, -6 is right there. And now I just need a slope, which is 1 over 3. That is up 1 over 3 to the right. Up 1 over 3. Notice that's a positive slope. Now, another way of counting your slope, if for whatever reason it doesn't fit, you can always go the other direction using negatives. I can go down 1 and back 3, and I'll be right there. Anyway, there we go. This is the point slope form. All we're doing is zeroing out. One way to think of this is that I have to undo what's happening to x. This is kind of what you do when you're zeroing in a rifle. If you shoot a rifle and it ends up being in the wrong place, you can re-zero your rifle by undoing where it's at. For example, if your windage is too high, then you have to move it down. If your windage is too far, if your sights are too far to the right, then you have to move them back to the left. Anyway, I need a 0 for my x. So I want to make the right side 0. So I need a -1 for x, and I need a +2 for y. So -1, +2 is one of the points on my graph. And I have a slope of 1/3. That's up 1 and over 3, and I'm done. So I'm going to move it right along now. Hopefully you can do some on your own. My x value is going to be -9. That's going to give me my 0, 1. And -9, 1 is located right there. And I have a slope of 3, which is really 3 over 1, which goes up 3 and over 1, and I'm done. I'm not hearing my little bleeps, so I'm wondering what's happening. All right, we want to make the right side 0, so we just need x is 0. And of course, y is equal to 5. Well, wait a minute, that looks familiar. That looks like a y-intercept, doesn't it? And notice that if I add 5 to both sides, it's in slope-intercept form. Of course, the slope is 2 over 1. So I'm at 0, 5, and I have a slope of 2. In this one, I want to zero out my x. So I need a -4 to make it 0. Oops, what am I doing? And I am going to get a 6 for my y value. All I want to do is zero out my equation, and my slope, remember to put that negative in with the numerator or the denominator, one or the other, but make a choice. So I've got -4, 6, which is located right there, and I have a negative down 7 over 4. Well, I don't actually have to count 7. I know that if I go 6 and one more, I'll have gone 7, and then I need to go over 4, which puts me right there. I just went down 7 over 4. Can you all see it? Hopefully. Now this one, we're talking about -1, -1, and we have a slope of 7 over 6. So I'm right there, -1, -1, and I go up 7 over 6. Now the thing is, remember that this thing is numbered. So my next point is going to be 7 up, which means that from -1 on the y, I went up 7, which I can actually just figure out in my head. I went up 7, and to get to my x value, didn't I go over 6, or to the right 6, which puts me at 5? And notice I'm at the point 5, 6. Just want to make sure that that's clear as well. This is the change in y, and this is the change in x. It's always rise over run, isn't it? Just a way of getting another point if you'd like, if you want to write it down. Now for this one, to make my x 0, I need a 5. And for my y, I need a 3. And my slope is down 5 over 4. And if you want to see it, I can go down 5, can I? Can you go down 5? That's going to give you -2 for the y value. And if I go up 4, or to the right 4, I'm going to be at 9. So there's 2 points. Now for me, it's easier to just imagine 5, 3, and then count my slope. I'm going to go down 5 and over 3. And there we are. Oops, did I go too far? Down 5 and over 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, I'm at the wrong place. What did I do? Oh, over 4. I said 3 instead of 4 for some reason. Couldn't figure out why I made a mistake. There it is. Okay, so this one is going to go, to make my x value 0, I need a -3. And for the left side, I need a 3 for y. So I'm at -3, 3, which is right there. And I have a slope of 1/2, which is right there. And if I want another one, it's right there. If I want another one, it's right there. And right there, and right there, and right there. And I can go backwards. I can go down 1 and back 2, down 1 and back 2, down 1 and back 2. Notice I've got a lot of points there, and it only took me a few seconds to find them all. This is a slope of 1/2. Some people insist on finding a table or something. Well, there they all are. All right, let's get this moving. So I need a 6 for my x, and I need a -4 for my y. So I'm at 6, -4, which is right there. And I count my slope, which is down 2 over 1. And of course, I could have gone the other way as well. -2 over 1. For this one, we need an x value, which is -6, and a y value, which is -1. And we're going to have a slope of -1/5. Let's see how long this takes us. -6, -1 is right there, and -1/5 is right there. And we're done. I need a -1 for my x value and a 0 for my y. This is an x-intercept. I want you to recognize it when you see it. And we have a slope of -5 over 6. This is on the x-axis. Be careful. It's really easy to make a mistake there. Doesn't seem like it, but it is. We're going to go down 5 and over 6, which is going to put us right there, isn't it? What? Did I count wrong? What did I do? Yeah, I went through 0, -1. Did I count wrong? Looks, oh man. Sorry guys, I can't count today for some reason. All right, so now I'm gonna have to do extra. Oh well, it's my own fault. M is equal to 9 over 2. So I'm gonna go through 2, -5, which is right there. I'm gonna count up 9, which is gonna be here, and over 2, which is right there. All right, we're going to go through -1, 2, and we have a slope of -7 over 6. -1, 2, and we went down 7 and over 6. Now, this is one of the cases where I can't really see where I'm going to be ending up if I go down 7 and over 6. But what I could do is I could go up 7 and back 6. I just have to be careful. To go up 7 is going to put me at 9, and going back 6 is going to put me at -7. I just want to make sure it's a little hard to see sometimes. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. All right, we're going to go through -3. We need a -3 to make it 0, and we need a 7 to 0 it out. And our slope is -4 over 1. I'm going to go to -3, 7, which is right there, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to go down 4, which is going to put me at 3 and over 1. And that's going to put me right there, down 4 over 1. Just want to make sure I'm not making a silly error again. Got to count right. This one, my x value is going to be 6 and my y value is going to be 4. I'm just zeroing this guy out. My slope is going to be -2 over 3. So I go from 6, 4, and I'm going to go down 2 and over 3. And I'm done. X is going to be -8 to make it 0, and y is going to be 3, and my slope is going to be 5 over 6. I'm going to go through -8, 3, and I'm going to go down 5 and over 6. That looks like -8, 3, yep, and I went down 5 over 6. Looks good to me. Oh, geez, what did I do? Can I not count today? What did I do? I went down 5? Oh my goodness gracious. I am really messing it up today, aren't I? Sorry, guys, I can't count today. That's going to be -10. The nice thing is that if you didn't notice, the AI is going to check to make sure that I'm actually doing positive slopes this time. Really, really nice program. I just, my own fault. -2, 3, and I have a positive slope that's up 5 and over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to actually count it. Probably safer. So sad. All right, -8 for my x and a 0 for my y. This is an x-intercept, which is right there. And I have a slope of 5 over 1. And I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. There we go. I'm going to actually make sure I'm in the right spot, and I am. I can see why you guys get frustrated. 6, 3, and I have a slope of -1/4. But if you make a mistake, it's always a good idea to check your answer. Oh, there's a problem. Notice there's no slope, but there is. You see, you just don't see it. It's y plus 6 is equal to some number times x minus 6. What's missing right there? Hopefully everybody understands that's not a 0, that is a 1. That is your leading coefficient when you don't see a number in front. So to get my 0, I need a 6 and a -6 and a slope of 1. 6, -6 is right there, and a slope of 1 is right there, or there, or there. And we need a -5 to get our x zeroed out, and a -3. And our slope is 8/7. Notice that they give me a lot of positive slopes. That's because that was my error earlier. And I love IXL's AI. They really think of it. That's artificial intelligence. What they did is they figured out that I was having trouble with positive slopes, and that's why they keep giving me positive slopes. -5, -3 is right there, and I want to go up 8, which is going to put me here, and over 7. Yeah, I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the point in just to double check. And this is a really good idea at any time. Remember that the top value is the change in y. That means that y's are always going to go up 8. And the bottom number, or the denominator, is the change in x. And that one's going to go up 7, which is going to put me at 2. And up 8 is going to put me at 5. So I'm going to be at 2, 5. And notice that I'm at 2, 5. Really nice double check there to make sure you don't do something silly like I kept doing with my negative slope, or with my positive slopes. I kept counting down. Do you see how it gave me a positive slope again? You just want to make sure I'm not making that error again. 2/3. -1, 2 is right there. And I want to go up 2 and over 3, and I'm right there. And it looks like we're getting there. Maybe 3 or 4 more. All right. Oh, we got some bigger numbers. Well, it's still the same thing. I want to zero out my x, -30, and I want to zero out my y, which is going to be a 10. And my slope is going to be 8/5. But notice that that's the same as 80/50, which is what I'm really going to count, aren't I? Be careful, because I can see if someone got this and the scales were different, that if they counted up 8 units and over 5 units, it might mess them up. So be very careful of that, because sometimes your scales aren't even. Anyway, we're going to go to -30, 10, which is right there. And I'm going to count up 8 and over 50, up 80 actually, which is going to put me at 90, and over 50, which is going to put me there, I believe. But I'm going to double check it just to make sure. So I'm going to go up 80. See that? That's going to put me at 90. And I'm going to go to the right 50, which is going to put me at 20. So I should be at 20, 90. And I am. This one, my x is going to be 0. Looks like I'm getting a y-intercept, doesn't it? And -300. Ooh, going by hundreds this time. And again, my slope is going to be positive 700 over 400. I said negative. I don't know what I was thinking. 0, -300 is right there. Now I'm going to go up 700, which is going to put me up here, and over 400, which is going to put me right there. And I'm going to check it. I'm going to go up 700 to give me 400, aren't I? And I'm going to go up 400, which is going to put me at 400. And I'm at 400, 400, and there I am. Okay, I want to zero this guy out at -7, -6 for y, and my slope is going to be 10/3. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my points. No, you know what? I'm going to count it. -7, -6. Oh, I can't fit it. So I'm just going to move this up just a little bit. There we go. So I'm at -7, -6, which is right there. And now I'm going to go up 10. That's going to be right there, and over 1, 2, 3. The problem is that it's really easy to mess your lines up when you're not counting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go up 10 for the y value, which is going to put me at 4. And I'm going to go up 3 for my x value, which is going to put me at, be careful, -4. And I should be at -4, 4, which I am. And it looks like I've got -7, -6. Oop, that would be a really good way to mess that up. Am I at -7, -6? Yes. And am I at -4, 4? Yeah. Don't want to make a mistake right at the end. And oh, they're really going to make me work for it. All right. So we need a -3 and a 1 for my y value. And my slope is -1/2. -3, 1, which is right there. And I have a down 1/2 is right there. And I could count it again and again and again and again. And it goes pretty quickly if you get good at this. I just want to double check. -3, 1, which is right there. And a slope of -1/2. It looks good. Yep. Oh, man. All right. So we're at -100, -100. That's going to zero out my equation. And I have a slope of 1/3, but that's the same as 100/300. And shall we do it? Why not? Going up 100 is going to put me at 0. And going up 300 is going to put me at 200, 0. So let's see. I'm going to start at -100, -100. Then I'm going to go up 1 and 100 and over 1, 2, 300, which is going to put me on the x-intercept, isn't it? Notice that the y-intercept is a real problem here because the y-intercept is going to be at, a -66 2/3, which is not easy to graph. My x value that I need to zero it is 0, and then I need a 60 for y. 0, 60 is an y-intercept, isn't it? This is a y-intercept at 0, 60. And I want to go down. The slope is -20/70, or -2/7, same thing. Down 20/70, which is right there, I believe. And let's just make sure. We are at 40 when I go down 20, and over 70 is going to put me at 70. So I should be at 70, 40, and I am. Looks good. This one is at -100, my x value, +400 for my y, and my slope is going to be 5/7, which can be expanded if you like to think of it that way. I'm just multiplying by 100 on the numerator and denominator. And I'm at -100, 400. -100, 400 is right there. A little hard to see. And I'm going to go up 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am actually going to check my value because I'm too close to the end. That's 1100. Oops, 1100 I said. I went, what am I doing? Hang on. I want to go up 500, which is going to put me at 900. There it is. And I'm going to go up 700, which is going to put me at 600. So I should be at 600, 900. And I am. And I should be at -100, 400. 2 more. Man, they're going to make me do all 10 of these. All right, so x is going to be at -1, and y is at 0, and I have a slope of 9/5. Notice that's an x-intercept. I'm telling you, it is really easy to make a mistake. I'm going to go up 9/5, right there, and I'm going to check it. I'm going to go up 9, and I'm going to go up 5, which is going to put me at 4, 9. And that is 4, 9, and that is -1, 0. Looks like we have one last one, and then we're done. And I can't imagine that you'd stick with me this long because it's that it is easier than I made it, of course. -60 and -30. That's going to zero it out, and we're going to have a slope of 1/5, but that's really the same as 10/50. So -60, -30 is right there, and we want to go up 10 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And I'm going to double check my work. I'm going to go up 10, which is going to be at -20, and I'm going to go up 50, which is at -10. And let's make sure we're at -10, negative 20, and we are. And it looks like we're done for the day. Hope you guys will try them all. And man, 30 minutes is a long one. And you guys get to your 100, okay? And have a nice day. See you back. Bye.